Hey guys, it looks like it's the end of an era. If you don't know, I just moved in November, so I mean, I guess it's been a little longer than just moved, but still recent, okay? It may have been, November, December, January, February. It might have been like going on 5 months now, but most of my stuff is still in boxes, so that's, you know, that's recent. But another thing is when I moved here, I didn't bring my tank with me right away. My 150-gallon aquarium, which late last year I started a little series about reviving and bringing back to full functioning because it used to be super pretty, but I didn't bring it with me immediately because it was going to cost me $3,000 to move it from all the way over from my family's home to where I live now and to get it all set back up properly. I didn't want to just wing it with a couple friends in a truck because if something goes wrong or it's not set back up properly, I could flood this whole house in 10 seconds flat. So wasn't gonna risk it. So I decided to wait until I had the money to spare. Just once a week, I was going over to my parents' house, doing a little cleanup of the tank, making sure everyone's good, and then coming home. A couple months ago, I did have enough money to move it, but it would have been like all my money for the month. And I decided instead, since everything is going well and I haven't had any problems with going over once a week, that I would use that money on the animals here and I would just put a little bit aside and then in a couple months keep doing that every month and then use that money that I've been putting aside every month to bring the tank here. But then I got a text from my mom a couple nights ago that told me that she could not find one of my fish. It had just up and disappeared. It was one of my dart fish, which is a smaller fish, so it could have technically been hiding. It was just very weird that it disappeared because it's a very friendly fish that was normally at the front of the glass. Like right when you walk up to the tank, you would normally see her. So it was a little odd that she went missing, but it wasn't time for me to come over to do the tank clean. So I said, you know, I'll look for her in a few days when I come over to do the tank. Otherwise, just let me know if anything else changes. Basically, like, let me know if you see something dead, but otherwise, oh no, I'm gonna just check it out when I get there. Then the next day, she texted me again and my tang went missing. She has not confirmed to me that either of them are dead, but she has not seen them once, and they're both very active. You see them all day throughout the tank, and now they're just gone. So that leads me to think they died. So that basically means at this point, there's potentially one red cardinal fish in there and my 2 clownfish. And then everything else are inverts and corals, and that's it. I've been going around and around with this tank for years now. I don't know what to do at this point. It's such a big investment to bring this aquarium back from the state that it ended up in. I wanted to do it. I was motivated. I kept some starter fish in there that I thought would help keep the tank going. And then as I cleaned up the tank, I added a couple more. But really, I was waiting until the tank was doing better before I began to reintroduce fish into that tank. One, saltwater fish are very expensive. It's not something you just want to throw around and risk hoping that they'll be okay. But 2, they're living creatures and I don't want to gamble with their lives. I was really confident that my tank was doing well enough to take care of the fish that were in the tank. So I don't know what happened. I'm gonna be going over there later tonight and gonna do some water tests and look at the tank, try to figure out what happened. But I feel like it's time for me to call it quits. Something is just telling me that it's gonna be like a year of dumping a lot of money into this tank just to get it to be the bare minimum of presentable. And that's money that I really should be putting elsewhere. But at the very least, even if I was going to be just tossing my money at it, I don't want to keep putting my fish through this. I don't want to keep thinking that I have it figured out just for the tank to have another new issue and to lose more fish. So I think it's time to call it quits, which absolutely sucks. I got that tank either early 2017 or late 2016, and it was beyond my wildest dreams that I was able to get that tank. I know what you're all thinking. What is that behind you? It's a giant tank. I actually didn't buy it. I worked with some people that worked at a fish store, and because of the way my YouTube channel was going at the time, they were willing to send me product in return for showing the product. And I remember like having a big beautiful saltwater tank was like my dream, but I imagined big would be like 55 gallons. That was like probably the most I could see myself affording at the time. These people that have these big beautiful gorgeous tanks, I just was so envious of and always wanted to be able to be like them. The fact that it all happened so fast and that I was able to make that happen with the help of some really nice people, it was insane. It was the craziest, most exciting thing for me at the time to be having a project like that. It was so fun. Although I talk a lot about reptiles and in the past mammals, fish tanks have been something that I feel like I retained the knowledge of and that I am most knowledgeable about above all the other species that I like to work with and learn about. There was just something about it. When I worked at Petco, it all started with someone, a customer, must have looked at a betta fish and opened the lid and not closed it properly, because one day as I was going through the store, I found a betta fish on the ground, like not in those little cups that they sell them in, which kind of suck anyways, let's be real, not in those little stupid cups they sell them in, not in a tank. It was on the ground. Thought it was dead, picked it up, it was alive. So I had a really close friend that was my coworker at Petco, and he was the aquatics expert. That was like his job there, is to maintain the aquariums and to help customers with fish. I wanted to bring this betta fish home because I had found him and we can't sell him now that he was on the ground. So I wanted to take him home. It was just like a little 10-gallon basic freshwater tank, no live plants, nothing like that. He taught me about illnesses with fish, how to treat them. He taught me about how to test the water. He taught me about how to treat the water, whatever. He started teaching me all about aquatics. And he personally had a bunch of saltwater tanks at his house. And I immediately just became so fascinated. I've always loved sea life, marine life. Keeping fish is like one of my new favorite things. I'm obsessed with it. My 40-gallon, it is super pretty. I'm very proud of myself for setting it up. Here we have a rainbow fish. He's just a typical rainbow fish. Here we have my newest fish. I just got him. I call him a bush fish because I cannot pronounce his name, but those words on the bottom, that's his name. This is my butterfly hillstream loach. You could actually see his heart beating. Before any of this started with YouTube, my route in life I thought was going to be marine biology. I've always just been very fascinated with fish. On top of like marine biology, regular biology, zoology, I've also just always loved science and chemistry and learning about how to create the underwater, I can't speak. Learning about how to create the like ocean within your own home was so fascinating to me, and I picked up on it really fast and I studied so hard. So we're gonna start first by making a little chart about the differences between corals and plants. All of these individual corals are called polyps, and they start out as one and then they are asexual. They reproduce on their own and they create a whole little community. Galaxias have big sweeping tentacles that come out at night and they will sting other corals, they will sting anything. There's a type of algae called zooxanthellae and it lives inside of coral. There's coral bleaching and that's how it happens. And you can tell the coral is unhealthy when it is all white, because that means it's not healthy enough to be holding the zooxanthellae. And that means there's something that needs to be. Corals like branching coral. They're long skeletons with thousands of little tentacles covering them. Now some corals are really easy ones to take care of. The reason is that they're the most tolerant. Bought all tons of books, read all sorts of papers online, and had my friend teaching me new things every day in person. I loved it, and I really just hit the ground running with that. I started getting my first fish tanks. I started with freshwater, then went to saltwater. Before I show you this, understand this tank really needs to be like cleaned up. There's nothing wrong with the levels in the tank. Everything's really great. Nitrates are 0, ammonia 0, all that. But it just looks pretty crappy, so understand I'm aware of that, okay? And here we have my betta sorority tank, which just means we have a bunch of female bettas coexisting happily. The bettas have been acclimating and they are good to go now, so I'm gonna go ahead and release them. They probably have no clue what to do because they've been in a cup their whole life. Let's get started on the actual topic of this video. Y'all already see why you should add the water first. I'm a great example. And over here we have my seahorse tank, which I really tried to replicate their natural environment in. Here are all 4 of them.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never.
I do have 4 now. And then, yeah, I was able to get that tank somehow, and it was just so fun. So fun. I adored keeping up with that tank, and I adored seeing the whole ecosystem come to life in there. I got really attached to the fish. Today's video is cheese. There he is. Cheese, look into the camera. Thank you. This video is about cheese and how to take care of a cheese. So enjoy the video. Take it away, Cheese. You already know with Cheese, he was amazing. I'm just trying to relax. And Cheese won't stop staring me down. What do you want? I'm in my kitchen now. And he's doing it again. Oh, now you're looking away? You're gonna act like you weren't staring at me? I saw it. Don't act like you weren't. I know you were. Watch me go over here. What are you gonna do now, huh? You gonna follow me? Oh, what are you doing? You're following me. He's running to me. I guess not running, because he's a fish. He can't run. Stop chasing me. Stop it. Stop it. Oh my god. I have such fond memories with that tank, and it was such a fun project. I love it. I loved it. I am always gonna be happy that I was able to do that. But when my depression got really bad and I lost myself for so many years, I just didn't keep up with it. It's one thing to start from scratch, but it's another thing to have a tank that I have bristleworms in there, it's overrun with starfish, there's algae, there's all sorts of problems, there's high nitrates, there's high nitrites, there's high ammonia, there's so much going on in that tank. I really wanted to fix it, and you can fix it. It's not like it can't be fixed, it's just a lot of work and a lot of money, but it's clearly come to a point where it's just, I'm throwing money at something that it's not enough money quick enough. I'm not able to fix it fast enough, and so I'm just watching the cycle continue of it getting kind of better and then not as good and then kind of better, and then now 2 fish died, and it's just like, I don't want to keep doing this cycle. If my fish can't be safe, what's the use of having this big old empty tank for a year? I'm not gonna keep 2 clownfish in this giant tank that's filled with algae and filled with pests like the bristleworms and all the algae and all of that. It's just a lost cause, sadly. So next steps, I gotta figure out how to get rid of it. It's not exactly an easy thing just to drain it and get rid of it. It's a big thing. It's it's a whole ecosystem of life, and it's 150 gallons of water, a sump with another 55 gallons of water, and all of the stuff that's in there is not something I could just like drain into one trash can and call it a day. I'm gonna have to take it apart, and then I have to find people willing to buy like I have like 200 pounds of live rock in there. I'm gonna have to figure out where I could sell all that to. I have all my inverts. And then I have my clownfish that I've had since the start of it all, since 2017. So that's where this next part comes in. I would like to, by the time this is uploaded, my birthday will probably have already happened. My birthday's on the 25th. My mom said that for my birthday, because she knows how much I love this tank, she would help me get a smaller tank so I can keep my clownfish. And that would be awesome. I would love to just do a tiny little reef, an anemone in the middle, the 2 clownfish, and some cute, simple corals. Something where I still have some little project I could work on and maintain instead of having to lose the whole thing. And I'm talking small, like 30 gallons. So yeah, that's kind of the next steps. I guess the first step would be I'm gonna keep maintaining this tank so the clownfish are okay until for the time being, and then in a few days get a new tank. So quick update, I got one. We're gonna be setting it up in the upcoming videos, so that's really exciting. I can't wait. Find a spot to set it up and start cycling it, and then we can get my clownfish moved over. Yeah. It's sad, but I can't let myself get caught up in like the what ifs of everything, like, oh, if I just didn't do this, or if I didn't do that, or if things would have gone differently, my tank would have stayed in perfect condition and none of this would have had to fall apart. It sucks, but it's just, I guess, the end of a chapter. Doesn't mean I can never get another big tank again. but time to start working on new things, I guess, new projects. We're gonna be building a pond in my backyard so we can have some freshwater fishies. Things can't stay the same forever, and that's okay. I thought I'd just give an update, let you guys know what the next steps are gonna be with this tank. I said tank kind of weird. Tank. Yeah. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for enjoying my 150 gallon with me over all these years, and all the fun content I can make with it, with all of the cool little critters I got to interact with, and yeah. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
I can't back out of this now. So stupid how nervous I am over this fish. Oh my god!
Thanks for the memories, like when you stung me and it itched. So I rolled in the corals. Or when you stole my food. Or when I stole yours.
Goodbye, cheese.
This is better than Twilight. For the best, you'll love your new tank. You're gonna have so much room. Do you like it? Here you go. Just get used to it for a little bit. Swim down. Swim down, please. Hi, Cheese. I hope he likes it in there. I'm so nervous.